So, welcome students. This is an introduction lecture of FY BSc IT syllabus of semester 1. So, we'll be starting. So, you had a gap of 6 months or 6 months or 7 months in your studies during lockdown. So, absolutely, you have no idea about syllabus as you have taken an admission in FY BSc IT. So, don't worry, we'll be discussing about it in today's lecture. So, basically, in semester 1, you have 5 subjects altogether that comprises of your imperative programming, second digital electronics, third operating system, fourth discrete mathematics, and one more subject is added that is referred as ability skill enhancement skill courses that will be a communication skills. So basically, you'll be having 5 subjects altogether, each carrying 75 marks in a theory, 50 marks in practical, and 25 marks in internal. This means that your total one subject carries 150 marks. So you'll be having practicals for each and every subject. So let's get started with your actual subjects, what they are, how to deal with that subject, which books to refer, and which software we are going to use while performing the practicals based on these subjects. Now moving ahead, so we are starting with imperative programming. The first question in your mind is, what is an imperative programming? What is the meaning of this imperative? This word imperative means, in layman's language, imperative means vital importance or crucial. So it is a very important thing. So basically, out of your past programming languages, C programming is considered one of the advanced programming languages in an initial days. So if you compare that with your Fortran, COBOL, Pascal, and earlier languages, and it also means a command in Latin. Now in Latin it means command. So whatever you'll be executing within this imperative programming, so it will be generated or replicated through your commands. So in imperative programming, everything is based on a procedural approach. Now basically, your programming structure develop or design in a two ways. Basically, first approach is your procedural approach. So everything will be executed step by step. It follows some procedure. And another approach, that is your object oriented programming, comes with another approach. There are several programming languages that can be stored on object oriented paradigm. So your Java, C++, Python are pure examples of your object oriented programming. But C, Fortran, COBOL, and Pascal are example of imperative programming. So in this particular subject, we are dealing with C programming. Then it includes a procedural paradigm, means everything will be step by step execution of commands. So example of imperative programming language as we have discussed are Fortran and Algol, and other include Pascal, C, and Ada. So we will be basically discussing about C programming. So what you will be learning in the subject, what is an imperative programming? It is an important or crucial. So you'll be mostly dealing with your C programming concept. C programming was developed by your Dennis Ritchie at Bell Laboratory in early 1960s or 1970s. So C programming, so simple program logics, how to build a logic, how to perform that algorithm, how to develop a pseudocode, and after that, very important, how to construct your program in C program. So program development life cycle, obviously it will be based on a procedural approach as we have discussed. We have two approaches, a procedural approach and other is object oriented approach. So you have C++ in next semester. In second year you will be learning Python, and fourth sem of second year you will be learning with your core Java. So that is the part of your object oriented programming. So C programming basically is your imperative programming, or it is a part of your procedural approaches. Done with this. Now next is unit 1. In unit 1 we'll be learning introduction part. What kind of programming languages are there? As we have already discussed, there are several programming languages types, like your object oriented paradigm languages, then we have procedural oriented languages. So C is a procedure oriented language. So then we have history, features and applications. Then we have simple programming logic, program development cycle, pseudocode statement, and flowchart symbols. Then we have sentinel value to end a program. Then we have programming and environment, user environment. Then we have evaluation of programming models. Uh, programming and user environment evaluation of programming models, desirable programming characteristics and fundamentals. Then we have structure of a program, compilation and execution of a program, execution of your program, execution of program, character set, identifiers and keywords, data type constant, and variables and arrays, declaration, expression statement, variable definition, symbolic constant. So when you joined your Zoom application, there is an option when you connect your headset or earphone, join in. It provides two options. That is your joined over the internet or dial in. Please select join over the internet. Join over the internet in audio settings. Then we have in unit 2, we'll be learning about operator expressions. So what kind of operator it provides, arithmetic operators. Then we have unary network issues might be getting call on. Okay, not an issue. Okay, no. Now, basically, okay. Aditi, can you hear me? Hello, Aditi. Hello, hello. Just type in chat box if I am audible. Okay, then we have, where were we? Recursion. Recursion is something calling itself, a function calling itself repeatedly more than a single time is your recursion programming. Then we have modular approaches and functions. Then we have standard library of C functions. Then we have prototype of functions. Then you have function parameter list. Then return type, function call, block structure, passing argument. Then we'll be learning about your. Then we'll be learning about your, what do you say? Wait, uh, we'll be learning about your library function, function call, parameter list, return type, function call. Is there any lag till now? Hello, am I audible properly and visible? Hello, hello, hello. Okay, not an issue. Actually, I'm just I have forwarded my call from WhatsApp number to Airtel, but started data with Geo. That was the main reason I got call and got disconnected. Sorry for that. Now we have to study call by reference and call by value. So this functions or this syllabus looks very vast in one go. It is not a one cup of tea for you all or a one spoon of sugar to digest in one day. It will consume lot of time. So for one unit, you have to spend approximately 15 lecture to grasp this all subjects or all topics. In unit 4, you'll be learning about program structure, automatic variables and external variables, static variables. Then we have multi file programs, more library functions, preprocessor features, define and include directives. Then we have macros, arrays. Then we have your definition, arrays, and arrays with string. So in unit 4, we'll be dealing about program structure. Now moving ahead, we have pointers concept in unit 5. This is a very scoring part in terms of your imperative programming. So fundamental declaration, how to include pointer, how to include an address using that ampersand operator. Then we have pointer type, what kind of declaration can be there, then what kind of pointer assignment you can perform. Then we have pointer initialization, then we have pointer arithmetic functions. So how to use arrays with pointer or pointer arrays, passing function to other functions. Then there is a concept called structure and unions. So basically you will get a sure short question on this structures and union. What is the difference in between structure and union? So these are user defined data types, structure and unions. So structure variables are there. Then we have initialization, structure assignment, nested structure, structure and function, structures and arrays. Then arrays of structures, structures containing arrays, union structures and pointers. So basically you have 5 units, starting with your introduction part, then moving towards your fundamental part, then operator expression and data input and output, conditional statement and loops. Then we have looping functions. Then moving ahead, we have program structures. Then we have pointers, and then last we have structure and union. So in this particular subject, you'll be learning so much concept. So don't get confused. Start with your introduction part and continue on that same track, so you are able to grasp these topics very easily. So what are the books and references you have to refer? So programming with C. Brian Gottfried, Tata McGraw-Hill, programming logic and design, Joyce Farrell, CNET Learning, and very important book as per your academics are concerned. Let us see by your Yashwant Kanetkar BPV publication. So I'll be uploading this book very soon on my website. So keep in touch with that. So you can able to download that things. Now next is done with IP. Just raise your hand if you got a basic idea of what is imperative programming. Just raise your hand or type in chat box if you're clear. See, we'll be discussing more about each and every subject that concerned faculty will tell you in detail about this subject. Don't worry. So this is just introduction part. Okay, not an issue. Now moving ahead, we have digital electronics. Have you heard of digital electronics? Have you heard of your digital electronics? Hello, hello. Have you heard of your digital electronics? Okay. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by digital electronics? Have you heard of a concept called digital electronics? What is an electronics basically? First of all, electronics. When we say digital, it comes first things comes to your mind that digital display. We have analog things and digital things. So basically, digital electronics is a field of electronics involving the study of digital signals and the engineering of devices that use or produce them. This is in contrast to analog electronics and analog signals. So basically, when we discuss about any electronic items, first things that comes to your mind is your that gates, then devices, or that transistor, resistors, and many more things. So in unit one, we'll be learning about number system. What is a number system? Analog system, digital system. Then we have numbering system. What are the binary numbers, octal numbers, hexadecimal numbers? Then we have conversion from one number system to another. Then we have floating point numbers. Then we have weighted codes, binary code decimal, non-weighted codes, XS3 codes, then gray code. Then we have ASCII code. ASCII stands for your American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Then we have extended binary decimal code. Then we have other error detection and correction method. It involves your CRC encoding and all these things. Then we have universal product code and code conversion. So basically in unit 1 chapter 1 we'll be learning about number system and their conversion with proper steps and proper guidance. Then we have binary arithmetic. Then we have first we have binary addition. Then we have binary subtraction. What is a binary number? See, in binary we have two input. First is your 0 and other is 1. So it binary means two values and unary means a single value. So binary involves your two values and unary means your single value. Then we have negative number representation. Then we have subtraction using ones complement and twos complement. What is a ones complement basically? So converting your 0 into 1 and 1 into 0. And what is 2 complement? Adding just 1 into that 2. So binary multiplication and division. Those who are having electronics in their 11th or 12th standard, so they are very acquainted with this and very familiar with this concept. So binary multiplication and division and arithmetic in octal number system. Then we have arithmetic and hexadecimal number system. Then we have BCD, binary coded decimal, and then XS3 arithmetics. So then unit 2, it will be fully dedicated to your Boolean algebra, logic gates, and K-maps. So Boolean algebra includes your, this is the same concept that you used to study in 11th or 12th standard physics, I guess, and electronics. So Boolean algebra, Boolean laws, then we have AND gate, NOR gate, NAND gate. So De Morgan's theorem is there, associative law is there, distributive law is there. So how to derive this logic gates, equation of this logic gates. So you'll be performing these practicals also on these logical gates using this Boolean algebra. Then in next chapter we have min term, maxim, and K maps. So K map is used for maximizing identify min term and max terms. So reduction techniques of K maps 2, 4, 3. So K maps can be plotted with the help of 2 variables, 3 variables, 4 variables, 5 variables, or 6 variables. Then grouping of this. Then we have unit 3, that is your combinational logical circuits. So that is your introduction. Then we have multi-input, multi-output combinational circuits. Then we have code converters, designs, and implementation arithmetic circuits. Then we have introduction adders. So adder includes your full adder and half adder. So BCD adders are there, XS3 adders. Then we have binary subtractors, then BCD subtractors. Then we have multiplier, comparator. In third unit, we will be studying about multi arithmetic circuits, introduction, adders. So adder is for adding the logical circuit, and subtractor is for subtracting the circuit. Then we'll be learning about mux and demux. Mux is basically multi-input, single output, and demux is a different thing, multiple input and single output. Multiplexer and demultiplexer exactly opposite to each other. So introduction to multiplexer and demultiplexer. So decoder is there, ALU is there, arithmetic logical unit. There are some sequential circuits that we will be using, that includes your flip flops. So flip flops basically divided into two types: SR flip flop and your JK flip flop. So then we have application of flip flop. In unit 5 we have counters. What is in basically counters? Counter is something that is with respect to your timing. So basic initial value of counter will be 0. So when you keep adding a number or any value to that counter, it will be increased. So you'll be using this counter concept in your programming also. Then we have shift register, right shift, right left shift. Then we have parallel and shift registers. So basically in digital electronics, you'll be learning more about digital concept of digital electronics. So in detail, gates are there, adder circuits are there, logical or sequential combinational circuits are there. So books to refer: digital electronics and logical design, NG Palan Technova publication. Mac Electronics, Charles. Then we have Modern Digital Electronics, RPG. So this third book is a pioneer book in digital electronics. I have this copy, hard copy of this book with me. If you want to refer this, once we start with your colleging, actual colleging, you can borrow this from me. So, but one condition: जिंदा लेके जाओ, जिंदा दो. Modern Digital Electronics, RPG. Now, done with digital electronics. Hello. See, we are just discussing the syllabus, just overview of your syllabus. It is not possible to grasp and understand or implement this syllabus in one lecture. So it requires lots of time. So just raise your hand if you are okay. Having no issue in previous two subjects. Okay, no issue. Now moving ahead, we have, okay, we have a subject called operating system. So this subject I'll be taking in college. Operating system, one of the favorite subject. So you can say your operating system is your heart of your computer system, or in simple language you can say an operating system is system or a program that manages your computer hardware, software resource, and provides a common service or computer program, or act as an interface in between your computer user and computer hardware. So in operating system, first unit includes your introduction part, what is an operating system, then it involves and histories of operating system, how it evolved over the years. Then we have computer hardware, what kind of different operating system we have. Then we have operating system concept. Then what we have system calls, operating system structure. So basically it includes your layered approach and then kernel approach and all these things. Then we have a concept called processes and threads, so which is a very important topic in operating system. So processor threads, inter-process communication is there. Then we have scheduling or scheduling, you can see. Then we have IPC problem, inter-process communication problems are there in unit 1. So basically in unit 1, two chapters are there, or three chapters are there, depending upon which book you are using. Then we have unit 2, memory management. So remember one thing, while studying your operating system, we don't just have to manage your physical memory, but we have to also manage your virtual memory. So memory is divided into two types: physical as well as your virtual memory. Then address specific virtual memory, then page replacement algorithms are there. Then we have design issues for paging system, implementation issues are there. Then what kind of segmentations are there. So basic difference in paging and segmentation, we'll be learning about that. Then moving ahead, we have file systems, files, directories, file system implementation, file system management. what kind of files it supports in operating system. So your device files are there, system files are there. Then we have user defined files. Then we have some operating file system, MS-DOS, Unix V7 and CD-ROM file system. So in unit 2, we'll be learning about memory management and file system. So in unit 3, we'll be learning what kind of input and output principles can be used both with hardware and both with your software. So it also include deadlocks. So in deadlocks, we'll be learning about resources, introduction to deadlocks. Then we have ostrich algorithm, deadlock detection is there, recovery, how to recover your deadlock. Then deadlock avoidance, how deadlock can be avoided and how it can be prevented, and that issues are related with your deadlock. So unit 3 is basically simple unit. So we'll be discussing about principle of IO hardware, principle of IO software. IO stands for your input and output. Then we have deadlock. In unit 4, we'll be learning about virtualization and clouds. So it includes your history, requirement for virtualization. Now, type 1 and type 2 hypervisors are very important techniques for efficient virtualization. Hypervisors microkernel, memory virtualization, and IO virtualization. Then we have virtual appliances, virtual machines on multiple CPUs and clouds. So you'll be learning multiple processing system processors, which includes your UMA and NUMA architecture. Then we have in unit 5, basically unit 5 is the simplest unit. Last 10 minutes remaining. Unit 5 is your basically deals with your case studies on Linux and Android, and we have case study on Windows. So done with this unit operating system. Don't worry about this subject, as I am taking this subject in college. So we'll be discussing in detail about this subject also. Now books, modern operating system internal design principle, operating system concept, Abraham Silber Scratch, and operating system Godbole and Karte. So basically, as you can notice, for one subject they have provided 3 to 4 reference book. So you can get this reference book in PDF format also for reference, or you can just refer other publication books that will be provided by your college. Now, moving ahead, we have discrete mathematics. Is a study of mathematical structure that are fundamentally discrete rather than continuous. Basically, we have two concepts: discrete and continuous. So this is your discrete mathematics. So it includes your graphs, logic, then variables, set theory, and so on. So basic concept have been learned by yourself in 11th or 12th standards. So variables content, it contains variables, language of sets, then we have language of relations, then we have function set theory, then we have definition and elements of proof, then property of sets, disproofs, then we have algebraic proofs, Boolean algebras, Russell paradox, and halting problem. So this basic introduction part is there in unit 1. Then we have compound statement logic, then logical argument. Then we have in unit 2 controversial statements are there. Then element number theory. So this will be taught by your faculties, concerned faculties in detail with that respective topics. I'm just showing an overview of this subject, what it contents actually. In unit 3, we'll be having sequences, then some mathematical induction, binomial theorem and all that. Then we have functions, post set is there, partial order sets. Then we have relation, graph theories and graph trees, isomorphic graphs. Then we have counting and probabilities, introduction and possibility trees. So and multiplication rule and possibility trees. Then we have multiplication rule, counting elements of disjoint sets and addition rule. So books are there. So 3 to 4 references are there in discrete mathematics with application. Discrete mathematics, SOMS, outlining series, anomalies. So second book is very important book as per your discrete mathematics is concerned. Just refer that book, Tata McGraw-Hill. So they have precise 2 books from Tata McGraw-Hill. Just refer second book, which is very helpful book in terms of discrete mathematics. So it's not a mathematics, it's a discrete mathematics. It has a different concept and it is easy to learn. Now, very important and completely ignored subject by students many a times, uh, and they have taken this subject very lightly. But believe me, this subject will help you out when you go for actual job or interview. That is your communication skill. A communication at the simplest act of transferring information from one place to another. It may be vocally, written using printed or digital media such as books, magazines, websites, or emails, visually using logos, maps, and charts. So in Unit 1, basically we'll be studying about 7 C's of effective communication. It includes completeness, conciseness, consideration, concreteness, clarity, courtesy, correction. So second unit in Unit 1, Chapter 2, we'll be learning about business communication, then how to write a business messages, developing oral communication skills. So communication basically involves writing skills and communication, oral communication skills, then developing oral communication skills, then specific communication needs, then specifying communication needs. Then we have presentation process, how to write a resume, how to prepare a report writing, and kind of things are there in this particular subject. So books are given: Professional Communication, Aruna; Business Communication, edited by Meenakshi Raman; and Strategies for Improving Business Communication. So basically, this is a very important subject, and if it is a very scoring and easy subject, so these 5 subjects are there total. Marking scheme is simple: theory 75 marks, internal 25 marks, practical 50 marks. Means each subject carries 150 marks. Total marks in one semester is your 750. So you'll be having 10 pointer in one semester. Now few key points to remember while studying: study programming subject as programming. Basically practical orientation. Don't judge any subject as per its length. It's a recommendation. Make sure while studying you focus on both marks and knowledge. We have to deal with both marks and knowledge. Then we are don't just go for marks oriented study, go for skills and knowledge, and make a habit of self notes making. So these are the key points for a success. Then we have jobs after main concern about your BSCIT. Software development, either you can go for programming, then you can develop website. Mobile app development, embedded system programming, embedded development, or you can have software testing, networking, database administration, system administration, cyber law consultant, GIS, geographical information system, IT service desk, and security, and many more upcoming jobs are there like ethical hackers, cyber forensic experts, and other areas or domains you can explore within. So just these are the jobs after BSCIT. Then visit this site for more study material and notes, and visit this channel for more lectures. So when you have visited college, I have showed this